Today, we're counting down the most emotional moments in football history, from the miracles that made us believe in magic to the tragedies that brought the entire world to its knees. These aren't just highlights. They are the moments that changed the sport forever. And stay with me, because these are moments that still bring tears to my eyes today, and you won't want to miss it. On October 27, 2018, the world of football went cold. This wasn't just a loss for a club, it was a loss for the entire community. A helicopter crash took the life of Leicester City's owner, Vichai Srivadhanaprabha, along with 4 others. Think about what this man meant to Leicester. He was the architect of the 5,000-to-1 miracle that won them the Premier League. Watching the first home game against Burnley on November 10 was heavy. Seeing his family and the players laying wreaths on the pitch, it's the kind of silence that stays with you forever. It showed that some people leave a mark on a club that money simply can't buy. Injuries are part of the game, but sometimes they reveal something much deeper about the humans behind the jerseys. In April 2023, during a high-stakes Europa League match between Manchester United and Sevilla, Lisandro Martinez went down. It was a non-contact injury, a fractured metatarsal, and you could see the fear on his face. But look at what happens next. Instead of waiting for a stretcher, 2 Sevilla players, Acuna and Montiel, picked him up and carried him off. Remember, they were his opponents in this match, but they are his brothers on the Argentina national team. That moment of pure class proved that rivalry ends where humanity begins. Winning the Champions League is the dream. Doing it as part of a treble, that's history. When Manchester City finally beat Inter Milan in June 2023, the floodgates didn't just open, they burst. You see Kevin De Bruyne and Kyle Walker, guys who have won everything else, just completely breaking down in tears. Even Jack Grealish, usually the life of the party, couldn't hold it back. It's a reminder that even at the top of the mountain, the pressure is massive. It wasn't just about the trophy. It was about the years of almosts finally becoming a yes. Football isn't always about what happens in the stadium. Sometimes it's about a kid in his living room. In 2023, a young fan got the surprise of a lifetime, a personal video message from Neymar Jr. The way that child's face changes from confusion to pure sobbing joy is incredible. We see these players as superstars on TV, but for that kid, Neymar is a reason to keep dreaming despite whatever hardships he's facing. It reminds us why we fell in love with this game as kids ourselves. June 12, 2021, Denmark versus Finland. This was supposed to be a celebration of European football, but it turned into a fight for a man's life. Christian Eriksen suffered a cardiac arrest right on the pitch. The footage of his teammates forming a wall around him to give him privacy while medical staff fought to save him is the most intense thing you'll ever watch. The shock in that stadium was a physical thing. It reminds us how fragile life is, even for the world's fittest athletes. The way the fans from both teams chanted his name together is a moment of unity we will never forget. Dele Alli's brain. Sometimes the hardest battles are the ones we can't see. Dele Alli sat down with Gary Neville in July 2023 and told a story that changed how everyone saw him. He revealed that at age 6 he was molested. He talked about his mother's struggle with alcohol and how he was shipped off to Africa for discipline.
My mom's friend who was at the house a lot. So my mom was an alcoholic.
Seeing a player of his level open up about that kind of trauma is a massive step for mental health in sports. It reminded us that every struggling player might be carrying a weight we know nothing about. Being a goalkeeper is the hardest job in football. Just ask Loris Karius. In the 2018 Champions League final, 2 mistakes changed his life forever. After the final whistle, while Real Madrid celebrated, Karius walked to the Liverpool fans alone, weeping and begging for forgiveness. It's a heartbreaking look at the psychological toll of a high-stakes error. Even though his team lost, that display of raw vulnerability showed the true soul of a sportsman. In the 2018 World Cup, Nikolai Jorgensen lived through a similar nightmare. He missed the final penalty in the shootout against Croatia, and Denmark was out. The video captures that heavy, crushing silence that follows a moment like that. One kick, 1 second, and the dreams of an entire nation are over. It's a moment that shows the brutal side of the game we love. In April 2023, the NWSL saw a terrifying moment when Angel City forward Katie Johnson collapsed on the pitch. The emergency was so serious that they actually called the game off. In those moments, the score doesn't matter, the rivalry doesn't matter. It's a scary reminder that player safety has to come before everything else in this sport. Magdalena Eriksson spent 11 years at Chelsea. She wasn't just a player, she was the captain and the heart of the team. In May 2023, she gave a tearful goodbye speech, calling Chelsea her home.
To even talk about or even say out loud feels kind of surreal.
When a player stays that long, they aren't just an employee. They become part of the club's DNA. Her tears weren't just about leaving a job, they were about leaving a family. Sometimes the smallest act can have the biggest impact. David De Gea met a young fan in 2022 and did something she'll never forget. He gave her his actual match-worn gloves. She called it the best day of her life. Think about that. For a pro, those gloves are just tools. For that fan, they are a treasure that makes the sport real. It's a beautiful reminder of the power of kindness.
That's what I think, because when they're doing it, I'm saying to myself, never give up. I'm in a wheelchair.
Anthony Knockaert lost his father in November 2016. In his first game back for Brighton, the universe gave him a moment. He scored. He didn't celebrate with a dance. He held up a photo of his dad. The entire stadium, even the opposing fans, gave him a standing ovation. That is the power of the football family. Even in our darkest moments, the game gives us a way to honor those we've lost. Son Heung-min is usually the guy with the biggest smile in the Premier League, but in December 2022, in the heat of Qatar, he was sobbing. South Korea had just scored a late winner against Portugal to move to the knockout stages of the World Cup. Seeing Son crying with pure relief and joy shows you how much playing for your country really means. It's more than a game, it's national pride. Richarlison had been through a rough patch. He was dealing with a long goal drought and mental health struggles that he was brave enough to talk about publicly. When he finally scored a crucial goal for Tottenham against Sheffield United in September 2023,
from Hartman brilliantly, Richarlison!
you could see the weight leave his shoulders. It wasn't just a goal, it was a breakthrough. It was proof that if you keep fighting, the light will eventually come back. Jordan Henderson spent time in 2023 with a fan known as Young Jordan, who had dealt with some serious personal hardships. Henderson didn't just show up for a photo and leave. He spent real time encouraging him and showing him that he wasn't alone. It's proof that being a leader doesn't just happen with an armband on. It happens in the community. Finally, we have to talk about Chapecoense. In 2016, nearly the entire team was lost in a plane crash while traveling to their first ever major final. The world of football came together in a way we've never seen. To this day, the memorials and the tributes are a reminder of the 71 people who were lost. It is a story of a club that had to rebuild from nothing and a sport that refused to let them go. It is the ultimate proof that in football, "You'll never walk alone" isn't just a song, it's a promise. We've seen tragedy, redemption, and the kind of joy that only football can bring. These moments are why we keep watching, even when our team is losing. Because at the end of the day, it's not about the scoreline. It's about the stories we share and the emotions that connect us all. I can't wait to hear which of these moments hit you the hardest. Let me know in the comments. And if you want to see the full footage of these incredible stories, click the link in the description and go give these moments